Hi, fourth grade again, it's Mrs. Boswell, and we're going to be doing day 2 of wave patterns and information transfer. So this week we're going to be doing I can model and explain how waves move. Yesterday you guys completed this key vocabulary ladder, and these vocabulary words are going to be super important. So if you want to pull out your spiral notebook and add these in, that's another great idea. And these don't cover every word, so if you found some words that we didn't go over, you could add those also into your spiral notebook. So number 1, how high or low a sound is as determined by its frequency is called the pitch. Number 2, a measure of how much space an object takes up is the volume. Number 3, a repetition of a specific sound produced by reflection of sound waves from a surface is called echo. Number 4, the process of finding an object by using reflected sound is called echolocation. Number 5, the distance from the top of one wave to the top of the next is called a sound wave. Number 6, a measure that relates to the amount of energy in a sound wave is called the amplitude. And the last one, number 7, the number of wavelengths that pass a reference point in a given amount of time is called the frequency. So again, these are good words to add to your spiral notebook. In today's activities, you're going to need your spiral notebook, and you are also going to need your science book, along with some additional materials. So let's see. All right. For our first part of the lesson, it says waves and matter. And we're going to come back to this on day 5 because we're going to talk about it, see if you have some ideas today. And then once we get through most of our lessons for day 3, 4, and part of 5, you'll be able to answer this question. Okay. So it says 4 friends were talking about waves and their patterns of motion. They agreed that sound waves move through air and that water waves move through water. They each had different ideas about whether waves carry the matter along with them. So here's Trisha's example. Both types of waves move through matter, but the matter is not carried from one place to another by the sound or water waves. Gordon said both types of waves move through matter, but only the water waves carry matter from one place to another. Gilda said both types of waves move through matter, but only sound waves carry matter from one place to another. Juanita says both types of waves move through matter and both carry matter from one place to another. So again, we'll be learning about this, but let's stop and think. So you can pause the video, and I want you to be thinking about who do you think is correct and why? From the background knowledge of going through the vocabulary and background knowledge that you already have, who do you think is correct? Trisha, Gordon, Gilda, or Juanita? And also be thinking about why are they correct? So what I want you to do is you're going to pause the video and you're going to do think, pair, and share. So if you're in class, you'll be able to think, pair, and share with a partner. If you're at home, you can stop, think, pair, and share. So you could share with mom or dad, maybe a sibling, or maybe it's your favorite stuffed animal. Or you can just share it or you could record a video and share it with your teacher on Seesaw. So remember, you can pause it. All right. So here I have a video of waves, and I just want you to watch and listen to the waves. All right, now that you've seen the waves, it says we're going to do another activity. It says telecommunications engineer. It says read this passage about an ultrasound technician. Here we have an ultrasound technician, and the ultrasound technician uses technology and their understanding of how waves can be used to create images of the inside of the object that cannot be seen with the eye alone. So over here, you guys are going to draw and label a diagram to show how you think the waves travel from its source to the computer to create the image here on the screen. So if you notice, she has this little thing right here in her hand. okay? And then you can see this image, which kind of looks like a face almost of maybe a baby, okay? How did that image get from here all the way up onto the computer? So create that image and label and draw what you think. Go ahead and pause the video, and you'll also submit. You can also draw this in your spiral notebook if that helps. Once you're completed, you can unpause the video and get started on the next activity. All right, so here's where the fun comes in. We're going to do an experiment. So it says, what makes sound? What causes the sound we hear around us? Make a prediction. You will conduct an investigation to discover what is needed to make sound. You will explore ways to change a sound. What do you think will happen to the sound that a rubber band makes when you change the amount of force that is used to pluck the rubber band? All right, so before anybody even gets started, don't worry about this list over here because you're not going to use all this. But you are going to have a cup and a rubber band, okay? And it says, what causes the sound we hear around us? So you're going to make a prediction here. So before you even begin the investigation, you need to make a prediction. Do this in your spiral notebook, okay? Pause the video as you need. Once you have written your prediction, then you may press play and continue. All right. If you're at home, the materials you're going to need is just a plastic cup and a rubber band, okay? So be careful when using a rubber band. They tend to break easily and can snap, okay? All right, so here we go. So to carry out your investigation, it says, the plastic cup should be standing up with the opening at the top. Wrap the rubber band lengthwise around the plastic cup. So you want it to kind of have it over that opening at the top of the cup. With the plastic cup standing with the opening at the top, practice plucking the rubber band. And I know that says cup, but it's supposed to say cup. We'll go back in and fix that. What you're going to do is make sure it's at the top. And when you pluck, you want to make sure one hand is holding it so that it doesn't move around, okay? Experiment with using a small amount and a larger amount of force to pluck the rubber band. Observe how the sound produced is affected. Record your observations on the table provided. So here on the next page, or you can also do this in your spiral notebook, okay? So you're gonna do your first pluck, and you're gonna write down what you hear and see. Then you're gonna do the second pluck, and it says less force than your first pluck, okay? Record what you hear and see, okay? And then your third pluck, more force than your first pluck. What happened? Okay, record what you hear and see. Okay, if you're here at school, you're going to do it just a little bit differently and carry out this investigation. Now, if you do have these supplies at home, you could do that. But if you don't, I would do the first part. Okay, and they're going to do the same thing. Once you're done, make sure you submit a picture of your observations so that you can get your grade, because this is part of a grade of writing down what you hear and see. Good luck today.